A Riverview man accused of nearly killing his entire family may have threatened them before the incident. News Corey Davis joins us now live from the Tampa News Center. Now, Corey, there is a lot of evidence that's shedding light on Ronnie O'Neal III.
Hey, Josh, good evening to you. Most definitely. And the evidence is all here in roughly 24 CDs of interviews and ranting about demons, calling Kenyatta by her nickname, Kiki.
911, what is your emergency? Hey, I just been attacked by some white demons. Inside Kiki. Kiki, her name is Kiki. And she tried to kill me.
My name is Saturn. I pray the Lord. I swore to keep the angels watch me through the night and keep me safe to morning light. Amen.
Yo, this ice water motherfucking Jones, goddammit, in this bitch.
Godspeed TV. Tonight we're going to talk about Saturn, Moon, Phantom Matrix, and how it correlates with the hood, how it affects Chicago. And I'm going to let Saturn talk. I'm going to let Saturn Matrix talk tonight. And this is about Sahu, the Sahu Avatar. Godspeed TV.
Rocks and blows spark. Lord help me, Glock spark in the dark. Ring of fire for the narcs. Little Uzi, all my friends is dead. Robot toy, Rolex, yellow tape, streets filled with feds. Moon rock to the head, Henny mixed with Remy in the land of the dead with a closed mouth. Don't get fed. Don wine, magic wine, bless me. Penitentiary kosher, kiss the pinky ring. Sold 1,000 crackhead dreams, nightmares while I'm still awoke. Gucci and then Da Vinci G while I'm at his wake. Niggas crying with the devil face. Niggas be on two-face. Gemini, her and I, getting high. Wipe the tears from your eyes. Baby, we're gonna survive and everything is gonna be alright. All we gotta do is stay drunk and live in this devil place. Pyramid traps on the Rico whack. Trying not to catch a case. Extinction of the black race. Niggas dying at a fast pace. Now pass me the ashtray, nigga. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake. Movie spit a phrase, you get amazed. It's just a phase, we center stage. Spin flows getting paid. They in the way, we renegades. I go for mine, it's showtime. Nose dive and drop bombs. My collar pop like the Fonz. Mine like a dark dime on my arm. Shine in my palms, we unwind at the bombs. I'm her lucky charm. She gone off the magic wand. She gone off the trapper John. George Chapper magic.
All right, tonight's show is Saturn Phantom Moon Matrix. And instead of getting into so much of the soulless beings, which is included in this, we're going to base this topic around how the Matrix, the Phantom Moon Matrix, is constructed and how it relates to Chicago and then to deeper inner workings of the inner workings of the inner workings. So I'm going to read from hoodx.com, like the Sahu Avatar, and that's the goon, the goblin, the drill, the killer, the beast, the savage. And it read, a new class of lower self beings, drones, who have no conscious order, inner structure, or no knowledge of self whatsoever, ruled by the planet Mars, controlled by Saturn, emotionalized by the moon. He has no control over his aggressions, a warlike tendencies. This puts him in the MC2 equal E lick. His mind and R6 programming is on autopilot, which is further manipulated by Kush, marijuana, alcohol, X pills, and mollies. This keep him in a highly reactive state. Sahu's next move is always unpredictable. So
One nigga doing drills, you know it. She steady calling my phone, I ignore it. Need new bitch, cause this one boring. But she sucking me up, some snoring. Till then, I'ma keep hitting blocks. Riding the steam, trying to catch me up. I could do it by myself, cause these cop, they get in that room, they gon' hear from the top. But you know I'm on the block all day. Come get served, trying to catch a replay. I really slide to the 6 every day. Really full of mark, think about them at day. Fuck it, finna get the respect before I hit you. I right one time to hit you to the left too. Bob, I wish they wish came and got you. Bad LA, she ain't walking the back too. The boot got hell on the driver, he fixed on the car. His head was on the tower, he ain't got hell on the fire. This one was golden good to die. Bad Newski, wish he went to ride. Fire, he ain't tried to walk to the bus, ran on the port. They fast ass up, real to the field. They lines ass up, your ass ain't getting up. Hit out that in the crash real too, and Pluto talking about that J Money dude. Boom, black guy.
So who started out as one of the figures who was taught the culture of death. Figure is a wannabe nigga that when they say we jump off the porch. By his parents and his mother and his brother Mason. Mason is a brother who coming into his 30s just want to go to the strip club, be cool, dress slick, get hoes. This would normally put Sahu under the acceptance of the chaos lick, meaning this is what he born into, concrete roads. However, Sahu, our 6 programming, is equivalent to that of chaos. He literally is chaos, so people are caught off guard and are forced to accept him and his behaviors. He is one of the he is the one who mutilates the family by making others accept his chaotic ways. The one that's always going to jail, you know, the Breezy lick, the what is it, Waffy Breezy, the one where his grandma house got shot up. You know what I'm saying? That dude, that's how it looked. That's who he got his grandma killed and all that. And I forgot his name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. A little fat, funny looking nigga with the purple dreads. You know what I'm talking about? So.
I got hit with the chopper, we call that motherfucker Dud on the knocker. Got it cause the self ain't make it to the doctor. Still trying to pull out them buzzwords faster. Yeah. Then Millie get hit on the 9, don't really know his ass as long as he died. Lil' Dill got hit on the 9, but he was on the east side. Yeah, Chin got hit on Stoney, they hit him in the stomach since he was hungry. Quinn got old, then they hit Tony. Why they call him dope boy, he don't get no money. Yeah, Lil' Rob got hit on the floor, left more normal, leaking on the floor. Wop got hit, then retaliated they hold. Went to the grave and pissed on O. Smoking on Molly, you already know I'ma roll up Blico, Admo Stowe. Roll up Cheesy, is that to go? Party got killed, they crying like, oh, bitch. Stank got hit on the 7, early in the morning, sent to heaven. Smoking on Carly, died from cancer. Obi was sick, Lodi sent to the present. And Noodle got hit on the hit. Nick fuck Tony got hit in this shit. Robbed on 5, but he got out 6. Juju a goofy down the lick. Yeah.
Oh. So who usually doesn't wake up in the morning until 11 a.m. or noon. Because of this, he misses out on his morning blessings from the sun and the birds. Sahu wake up already locked into the world of chaotic energy. Wherever Sahu lives, there is usually someone staying there temporarily, or he would be temporarily staying at someone else's house. This completely disrupts his sleeping pattern known as the Carnatic rhythm. This rhythm is reprogrammed by the Decepticons, aka Saturn's phantom moon matrix, as the mainstream manipulates Sahu's powerful circulation rhythm, King Von them, FBG Duck, Chicago drill music, and keeps him locked into the vibrations of lower chakras, according to, if you want to know what it sounds like.
Yeah, arrow down the stove, triggered it too. Look, got killed by his bro, was body retarded. He looked real slow, big mo, pick a side, so he gave him a stove. And we dropping L's for a little mo. Practice who how he went ready to go. Shout to the G's, fuck Chris Mo. Shout to the G's, fuck Chris Mo. T-Bro, he down with his 2X. Don't get buzzed, we forgot about that. When I'm OT, I'm smoking. Only got tricks, so I kill, so I eat. I pull Jack, say so did. They gon' die about that. Fuck the Steve, saying, bro, where you at? Fuck Ski, I don't know him either. But he died wide, so I'm glad he finished. Yeah, Jack got hit on the brick. Neither they two, that HK really try to shoot. Nigga, fuck Sherrod, hold your homie ain't shoot. Fuck say knife for the flathead, dude. I don't know what to say about Whitey. Been in the stew too long writing. It's 51 day off. Hope I don't get indicted. Bitch.
Sahu's mother, Jamaica, was a pimp. His father was a hitman. After Seth manipulated his family, he used Sahu as a drone to cause further CCD and in communication, chaos, destruction, confusion, and Hood X. Sahu was exposed to the Madden lick, which is crazy water if we don't get it right, at an early age. As he was diagnosed with ADD and bipolar disorder, he was given medication that made him dependent upon chemicals in order to bring him to a state of balance. This completely disrupted his alkali or alkaline pH balance in the system, keeping him in a highly sensitive state. Controlled by medication and drugs, MK Ultra programs his R6 program while keeping him in a highly reactive and sensitive state. The medication, drugs, and mainstream programming makes Sahu unreality more vivid in his mind. Shadow, Saturn, Moon, Matrix. And this is what it.
Fuck your homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. Most of their ass got hit in the head. Fuck your homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. Fuck your homie dead. Most of their ass got hit in the head, bitch. I'm phone now. If you want me, come get me. There's none to get away with me. I'll move that Sammy.
I just want a spaceship.
Because Sahu is a product of death, he naturally assumes that drugs, alcohol, crime, and jail are all perfectly normal for someone who is in his demographic to experience. All 9 of his metal nephew avatars have been removed from his pineal gland and replaced with mutilated motherfuckers in between shadow walker thoughts, shadow phantom matrix, moon matrix, like we're going to talk about. This gives Sahu fucked up pipes. He can't even think straight. The shit can come out, go in one way, come out another. He has never had a higher thought in his life. So, let's go. And this is Saturn talking. This is Saturn explaining his moon matrix.
Before we start the video, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all the support I received from you. And as always, all the information in my videos is rumors taken from the internet or the street. I'm not saying the information is fact.
Pick your mans up.
That's good because people used to come through shit like this every day. And this book, words can't even explain. Can't even explain. Hey man, this one gotta go far away. Young Money, man, he in the building. 600 boy, LA man, LA Capone, man, get it to him, man. I'll see two boys, man. See, number 9, man, number 9 shit right here.
Hey, we get along, bitch. Yeah. Fucking wrong with you, boy. Hey, I don't break one. Break one, boy. Fucking you go out, boy.
You have to be willing to die or go to jail for 100 years if that's the lane that you're stepping in. You have to understand that whether you're 15, 16, you got to think like a man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're not? Why does everybody say you're only 16 years old?
They say what they want to say.
How old are you?
300.
The story of DB, aka Biko, Taekwon World.
Saturn matrix. Saturn moon matrix. This is him talking. Streets.
This is the story of Terry Mubarak Berry, also known as DB, or Biko, which was his nickname on the street. Like all the other stories I have made about gang members, this one is also a sad story. A boy who was good in school and participated in several different school projects, including a project against gang violence. DB was also a guy who liked martial arts and focused a lot on boxing and martial arts in middle school to be able to defend himself and his friends. It was also a way for him to stay away from the street. The road to and from training became an increasing problem as Terry got older towards the end of high school, as he had to take the bus through a few different neighborhoods to get there, and that's not a safe thing to do in Chicago. He started to bring a gun to training, and after several fights in other areas of the city as well as at school, and after several friends were killed, Terry himself became involved in the gang life, more or less involuntarily. It was more...
Pause. Sahu is highly attracted to the culture of death. He is looked up to by his figures, the ones younger than him, like FBG Jughead those. His name usually come up while Delilah is smoking crack with her friends, talking shit. His name brings a thrill to Delilah. She seems to like Sahu more than Samson, who is trying to find knowledge of self. Sahu ignorance seems masculine to Delilah, who has never been exposed to a man who has sacred congruence of himself or that believe in himself. Kill to be killed is Sahu mind frame. What I'm supposed to do if somebody is trying to kill me, I'm not going to be killed first, he proclaims on a daily basis. This is his only option. His mindsets keep them further locked in a state of death, construction, confusion, and desperation. So far, you got that situation.
More about survival. He got deeper and deeper into the destructive life, taking the lives of several people, which would eventually cost his own life. Terry was born on January 28, 1996 in Chicago, Illinois, on the south side of town. DB was the son of King DB, who was a well-respected OG from Paxtown and is even seen as a legend from Paxtown. According to DB himself, he had heard endless stories from older members of Paxtown about his father. He was a big hustler who withdrew large sums of money. Sadly, DB never got the chance to meet his father because he died 8 months before TB was born. DB grew up without his father. However, he had a stepfather who was there for large parts of his life. King TB died very young. He never made it to see the age of 20 and died only 19 years old. In 2016, when TB turned 20, he described it as a very special birthday because his father never got to see the day and that he felt blessed. DB often tweeted about his father, that he wished he was alive and that things would have been different if he was still alive. Although DB never got the chance to meet his father to see how he was as a person, he looked up to him. DB also had a cousin from Paxtown named Woody who did an interview in 2017 where he said he had lost over 30 friends to gun violence. When TB's father died, his mother moved to the south side, in the 6,200 block of West Eberhard Avenue to be precise, and gave birth to Terry, whom she raised. To my knowledge, DB had no siblings, at least none known or who moved in the same circles as him. However, he had his friends on the street who he saw as his brothers.
Sahu, like Samson, Sahu legal status is in turmoil. He has a criminal background which prevents him from finding a normal job. His driver's license is typically suspended due to unpaid tickets or child support. He has a warrant. He has a warrant out for his arrest almost every few months. Sahu is constantly stopped by the police, who knows his face and his ways. Sahu and the police are natural enemies. Sahu is known the gatekeeper to higher dimensions in Hood X. He is the local drug dealer who everyone knows. Set allows him to rule over the substance that would unlock the portals of CCDD in men and women. Set is aware that Aset can control the mainstream to awaken the sleeping giants. He is also aware that humans naturally have a mental defense mechanism against advertisement and typical mainstream programming. It's just a matter of time before someone cuts off the television and the radio. In order to correct this fundamental flaw, Set allowed J. Edgar Hoover to flood Hood X and the hoods with drugs to help bring these Manchurian candidates back to a more chaotic, suggestive state, drill music, causing them to turn to the television and radio back on in order for the Manchurian candidates to properly align their R6 up with the manufactured culture of death. The moon energy is very powerful. Electromagnetic computer. The energy from the moon has been beaming electromagnetic frequencies into Earth for eons. Now, to maintain the 2-strand DNA, it is said that it should be 12-stranded. The moon is a satellite that was constructed. It was anchored outside Earth's atmosphere for eons as meditating and monitoring device. A supercomputer.
That's real good. I want to know, man, how many people you lost to these streets?
Man.
Shout out some names, man. Some of the guys.
About 30. At least about 30. I can name a few. That just my homie Lizak just died about a week ago. My homie Twan. I lost my little homie Jaleel right down here on Crandon in front of the stove. I lost my other homie Mo down here in front of the Jeffrey Sub. So, I lost about a little 30 guys. So, it's probably a little bit more than that, but I could at least say 30 off top of it. Yeah.
My name Trey, hey, man. Hey, Phil. These streets, everybody.
My bad. Draco entity or nigga, rapper, clone or construct. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to clear it up. What just happened is when I started the broadcast,
As a child, Terry Berry attended Sexton Elementary School. In middle school, Terry was a part of this series in the Chicago Sun-Times newspaper about violence reduction strategies and the importance of recreation. Terry was in 5th grade and contributed to this story, sharing about how gang violence in his neighborhood affected his ability to play at the park, and how he enrolled in martial arts for protection. Later, Terry became serious and dedicated to boxing. Boxing kept him focused and off the streets for a long time. But just like I said in the beginning of this video, the road to and from training eventually became too dangerous for
Saturn,
DB.
Moon,
He needed
Matrix,
to take the bus through several different hoods, which was dangerous. DB therefore began
streets,
to bring a weapon to the training
AKA
to be able
Saturn,
to
know
protect
everything.
himself in case something should happen. However, in the end the danger became too great and DB stopped training completely.
To disrupt this signal. To actually, every time I start doing this with y'all, I get disrupted maybe once or twice, 3 times. But the object is to forget that thought, to share this information up in the shell. By me being
Like
aware of
many
this,
other young people from the area, DB went to high school at Dunbar, which was a school that was pretty much filled with GD members from Jaro City, STL/EBT, Brick Squad and Mob. However, there were also a few members from 600 and Wick City at Dunbar. For example, both L.A. Capone and Buka from 600 attended Dunbar and Ochomana from Wick City. According to Tay Capone, L.A. Capone was very exposed at Dunbar. Apparently he got beat up pretty badly nearly every week, and there are also rumors that both Buka and Ocho watched L.A. Capone get beat up without doing anything. However, I do not know if that is true. Jaro City, but especially DB and his best friend Poppy, pretty much ran Dunbar. A teacher who was really close to DB, and who was there for him and many of his friends, told in a blog post about DB that people were afraid to fight him. DB could really throw hands because of his boxing and martial arts training. DB used to beat up a lot of people in school, and at one point, during his senior year, him and Poppy allegedly started a riot, where the whole school started fighting, which resulted in the police coming to the school and shutting it down temporarily. There were often fights and even shootings outside Dunbar, much like Hyde Park. Everyone knows by now that King Bun shot up Dunbar together with L.A. Capone, M. Thang and Mikado after blast his ass got jumped by Brick Squad members. OB's 600 really hated Dunbar and often went there looking for members from Jaro and STL/EBT.
Saturn, the all-seeing eye. The station has Masonic on walls and the all-seeing eye on all platforms. This eye is almost strongly meant to be Saturn, aka Satan. The image perfectly portrays what Saturn is doing. Saturn hacks into the waveform information broadcast from the center of the galaxy via a sun and broadcasts a fake reality into our solar system. The moon amplifies this and beams it specifically to the Earth. The fantastic synchronicities between Earth and the moon and the sun inside geometry and position are all made possible by the moon. These synchronicities are connected to how the sun information is hacked by Saturn and the moon. The moon is where it is because someone specifically put it there. Visible light in the electromagnetic spectrum that science has recorded in the matrix. The false reality that God said, let there be light. The speed of light, which we are told is the fastest speed possible. That's bullshit. Is the vibrational wall. That's the fastest speed as possible, meaning is the vibrational wall is the 3rd sphere trying to get to the 4th sphere, meaning you got to get past materialism to get to the 4th dimension. And from the 2nd dimension, you got to get to thinking and get to the 2nd dimension, to the 3rd dimension from the 2nd, a wall of the matrix. We are not even living on Earth. The Earth is as it really is. We don't know the natural Earth. Just like these cats, if you go downtown, you don't have the same matrix that you got in the city. That's what they mean. It's a phantom Earth going on at the same time. The matrix broadcast blocks humans from perceiving what we otherwise would be experiencing. The Earth that we can't see or field too often is a place of love and harmony, not war, fear, and suffering. The predators dictate our lives and make us slaves to them by hacking into our sense of reality. The Saturn moon matrix transformed a once vibrant conscious humanity into a computer program and decoding cycles of repetitive perception and behavior, drilling and killing. The transmissions of the Saturn moon matrix are received and the retransmissions and retransmitted by the Earth crystal's core, which has been tuned to the matrix frequency range. And the hack connects with us through the reptilian brain and the receiver transmitter system that we call DNA. It don't work. So now that even make me go harder to share the information. You know what I'm saying? And these are called what I call Orion entities, and you have Ra entities, which will be the service to others. Orion is service to self. You know what I'm saying? Orion represents the draconian, the snake, the Lord being of the lizard. One what they call when Eve.
You feel me? I had to drop out of high school, nigga, because folks knew while I was here, they was niggas from my hood wasn't standing on that business. LA going to Dunbar, getting his fucking brains beat in every week. I'm hearing about this shit while I'm in school. I'm hearing about all this shit. You feel me? I'm seeing this shit happen to my homie. I come back from the hood. You feel me? Motherfuckers getting that. Oh yeah, ooh. They just call LA. I see LA. LA got fucking. He look like a skeleton, folks. On BDS, both his eyes black, his nose got a bump in it, all type of shit, folks. You feel me? Like, they done beat my homie 3-4 times. I'm steady going to school out there. I can't even rock out with my nigga, folks. Because folks so gangster, he gonna keep going to school because he ain't finna make them think they moved him out of school. You feel me? All type of niggas done stopped going to school with folks. There's so many niggas in Dunbar that just all of a sudden, when the ops got in that bitch, like everybody wanted to go to Dunbar when the BDs was deep as hell in Dunbar. Soon as the ops fake made it a competition in that bitch, for them started getting up out of there. For them, it was all good. Everybody going to school every day when all the guys in that bitch. Soon as the ops migrated in that bitch and make it an even playing field, motherfucker, getting up out of there. Niggas ain't even wanna got them to be in that bitch. For them, so LA going in that bitch, folks fighting, niggas ain't helping, niggas getting up out of there, acting like they ain't see niggas and shit. So,
just as mentioned recently, DB had a teacher who was close to him, who helped him and his friends and was also there in his private life. For example, when Poppy from Tyquid World was shot dead, she was there with DB and his friends at his funeral. In the blog post I mentioned earlier, which is basically a whole story about TB's life, she mentioned that she has nothing positive to say about Dunbar's educational establishment. Only 49% of the young people in the area graduated from high school. However, DB was good in school and graduated from Dunbar in 2015. However, he was close to not being allowed to do so when he was suspended from school just a few months before the last week at school. The suspension was due to the school seeing
talk to the snake in the garden. That's Orion. That's what they meant. He whispered in their ear, suggest things to it. But to clear that up, and we just narrow it down under the Iron Ra files to two sides: service to others, service to self, or you call it good and evil. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you had to take the ideology out of white man, black man, religion, because if you notice certain patterns happening, you see what I'm saying? Every time I get ready to share information of a higher thought, somebody call me with some stupid shit. Some stupid shit happened. It just happened. What am I going to call this? The white man can't do this. The white man cannot telepathically sit there, put like this above COINTELPRO, this above the government. So the white man can't know I'm finna start talking to y'all and actually get somebody from satellite.
The teacher who was close to DB also told about how she used to drive home DB and his friends to their neighborhood to make sure they came home safe. She also helped DB get a job for the summer after high school. DB told her that he was upset that he did not have a job and that he asked her to help him. She told him who was in charge and if he wanted a job he should show up every day and ask for one, and tell them he was willing to do anything at all, including clean the toilets. It worked. He got a job at the coffee shop down the street. He loved the job and had pride in getting it.
You know what I'm saying? He can't do this. So this is still happening beyond my belief that he can do it or not. So sometimes you can't give a white man credit, or most times you can.
He came into criminal life around 2012 to 2013 after he started hanging out with other young members from Jaro City and STL/EBT such as KI, who pretty much taught DB and other younger members like Lil Bubba, LC, and Richie Jerk how to rob people and how to do hits. When you grow up in an area like TB did, where gangs are as palpable as they actually are, when all your friends are involved, your closest friends can be in danger, you yourself can be killed just because you stay around your friends, then it is very difficult to stay away from that life. In the years when TB came up, there was no Taekwon world of which he would later be a member. TB was originally one of many shorties from Jaro City together with people like I mentioned earlier, Twan, Lil Bubba and Richie Jerk. Sure, Taekwon was killed in the summer of 2012, but it took a long time before Taekwon World established itself as its own set. Taekwon World was first one of many branches within Jaro City. There are, for example, Tutu Gang and Hottie World. I will now tell you the story of Taekwon World and why it took so long to establish itself. It all depended on one person, KI.
These times, you can't give him credit for what's going on. You gotta look for a higher source or something else behind him. He ain't this damn smart. And not to take nothing black or white, but we know how brothers and sisters' mind is today. So that's why I get to alien. Fuck it, we're gonna go to alien technology. Now, to get down with this type of information, you're gonna need an imagination. If you ain't got no imagination, you just ease on out and close the door. But if you got an imagination, then we're gonna work, because it takes an imagination.
On June 24th, 2012, Taekwon Tyler was shot dead outside a party in the 6200 block of South Rhodes Avenue, Jaro territory. 13-year-old Taekwon was at a party with his 19-year-old sister when a fight broke out around 1:20 a.m. The two siblings ran away from the party and onto a street and then into a nearby alley. Two older guys, Wayne and Nate from Jaro City, followed them and fired shots at Taekwon, striking him once in the chest. Taekwon collapsed in the alley, and when paramedics found him, he was already dead on the spot. According to police, neither Taekwon nor his sister were in a gang. However, it is quite well known that Taekwon was a member of the same gang as his killer, Nate and Wei, who were members of Jaro City. It was no coincidence that Taekwon was killed. He was best friends with none other than KI from STL/EBT, who we got to know through FBG Buddha, who originally came from Jaro. The three became very close friends around the middle of 2011, roughly after OD from Wick City was killed. Taekwon jumped off the porch in early 2012. He did not shoot any ups yet, but he went on robbing sprees almost every other week along with KI and Buddha. They often robbed people from Dipset 650, E-Block, and even guys from his own set, Jaro City.
To get you to a certain dimension of vibratory rate and thought, just to absorb this thought. The child play, or the Orion entity, the genetic implant that he put in us, tell us, no, this guy is crazy. He sounds crazy. I never heard this before. You know what I'm saying? That's the child mind. That's the Orion, what could I say, blood circuitry or implants in you that's telling you, no, this guy can't be happening. But if you stay long enough to listen, once you hear it, once you see it, once you touch it, taste it, then you're going to know it's real. And I'll probably hold your hand to guide you through it. It's almost like taking LSD, LSD to see the signals, the colors, the signs, and so I'm training you how to see the unseen scene without the LSD. So, let me get you before I hit myself. I turn my ringer down, so then call twice. I don't know these numbers. You know, when you get a 909 number, 70634 number, or just bullshit numbers, you know what I'm saying? But I find it, interesting, because probably at the stage I am in evolution and ascension, I probably got a light beam fucking with me. And the light beam is an Orion light beam. That's the highest of the negative beings. And he only come down when it's necessary, you know what I'm saying? And if the stronger you are spiritually, the the more he's going to try to attach himself to you through people, places, or things. Meaning places you want to go, he's going to be there. People that might come through you, you're going to see, can he enter in through them to start fucking with
was
you.
taught by Jakara to rob older guys, because the younger ones were not close to the older members, so it did not matter if they did anything against them. The older guys were also less likely to retaliate in any type of way, because older guys have in many cases stopped playing with guns, stopped shooting and killing people. For the most part, it worked for Taekwon. Along with Ki, he robbed multiple people from different sets they actually were cool with. Taekwon's robbing spree, along with him starting to hang with STL's main killers, made his name ring bells, and he became well known across the GD sets in the area, but also for their main enemies, O'Block and 600. Taekwon made himself a big target. All it took was for someone to not care about his age and try to kill him. And that's exactly what happened in early 2012 when he got shotted for the first time by King Von. A few weeks prior to the incident, Von had gotten shotted by Ki and Wooski on King Drive. Von luckily managed to escape the situation and was not touched by any bullets. A few weeks after that incident, Von and Scud from a block walked around on EBT's block, looking to score. They spotted Taekwon, Wooski and Ki across the street and started shooting at them without hitting anyone, and Ki, Wooski and Taekwon were quickly out of sight as they ran away through a nearby alley.
You know what I'm saying? And right now he's trying to learn the first stage of the entity, called invasion, or something fucking with you, a dark force fucking with you. So once he learns you, he try to assimilate to what you do and find your weaknesses. So you like smoking cigarettes, he's gonna always make sure he got a pack of squares. You know what I'm saying? And all he gotta do is infiltrate the energy. Now, they're attracted like a moth is attracted to light. That's how, if you can't see a dark entity.
About a month and a half before Taekwon's death, he made a big mistake. He robbed Nate from Jaro City. Taekwon did not know that this particular OG was a killer, and one of the guys who did not qualify as a stain or lick he could hit. Nate was really with him, even at that age. He could not tolerate Taekwon getting away with robbing him. Ki was actually familiar with this information and tried to make things right between the two, and succeeded for a while. It was all cool between the two for a couple of weeks because Ki thought she had talked Nate into it by saying that Taekwon did not know better, because he was just a child. All of this only for a couple of weeks later for Nate to hit up Wayne and plot on killing Taekwon, which they did and ended up getting locked up for. After the murder of Taekwon, Taekwon World was formed, which at first was just another name for Jaro City, just like Tutu Gang or Hottie World. Taekwon World was actually never supposed to become its own set. Even people like Ki and Lil Bubba, who's obviously a member of it now, was against the whole idea of creating Taekwon World. The reason for this was because the people who came up with the idea around mid-2013 did not know Taekwon so well, which is why Ki and others did not like it. Taekwon's death was also a reason why Ki became bitter against Jaro City. Others swept it under the rug and did not blame Jaro as a whole. Dutchie was also bitter against Jaro in the beginning but got over it after a few years.
Entity attracted to light, or Orion light being, that's how it'll look. It'll look like a fucking mouth. Keep on hitting this light. It just, some reason it's trying to get into this light. That's the general thing of what I'm saying. But you the light in the glass that it can't penetrate. So it just bounced back, but it ain't gonna stop trying. It's just
what
something
made
innate.
the relationship between Ki and Jaro City even worse was that Jaro seemed to co-sign the idea of Taekwon World, with the majority of Taekwon World being made up of guys from Jaro City, along with a couple of STL members like Ki's brother, who was also close to Taekwon, just like herself, and Lucky, who claimed Taekwon World at first but went back to mostly affiliating himself with just STL, because what many people do not know, about half of Taekwon World was always looked at as goofies trying to get clout off Taekwon's name. But after many of the shorties like Lil Bubba, DB, Twan, D-Money, LC and others started to do more in the streets and eventually started to catch bodies, it became its own set. Truth to be told, if Ki still had been alive today, she would probably have been Taekwon World herself after all. The reason I say this is because Ki was on the verge of taking D-Thang's idea, starting her own thing, with her being the captain of the team. A few months prior to KI's death, more and more shorties started to claim Taekwon World, and not too long after KI was killed, the shorties started claiming Taekwon World for real and established themselves as its own set. The younger people that KI once brought up started to put in heavy work and became a major problem for Obla.
And it's to stop trying. So just keep trying. The entity keep trying. Once it learn you, it find your weakness, whether it's a drug or something, anything, it's going to utilize that to keep doing, getting with you. Now it's attracted to your energy. So it's not really trying to fuck you over. It just want to drain your energy and learn more from you. Now, if any given chance it can give you to become service to self, meaning a selfish motherfucker, then what it's going to do is take its chance to extinguish the light. Once it extinguishes your light, you become your soul, or your light become absorbed into it, and it become powerful in you. So basically, in a nutshell, they only gamble. The gamble is the dark force entities or Orion. The gamble is I can't take up too much energy. Energy is precious. So if I gamble with this dude, a female, I gotta know I can do this. If I fail, then it's a price to pay. 9 times out of 10, the reversal is he's gonna become absorbed into you. And not to say you're gonna be evil, but that's raw power, raw energy. Now it's almost like one day you're naive and you believe anything another nigga say. And then
Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year. It's amazing.
Next day you kind of up on this game. That's him. You know what I'm saying? Because good-natured people or spiritual people will tend to be naive and think everybody good-natured and spiritual. And you would get fucked over, played, and this is another way Orion would turn you to self towards self. Because you would say, fuck all this giving and loving and shit. Motherfuckers around me bogus, so I'm going to be out for mine. Right there, he got you. Or the other way is that
a few months before KI's
death, he got you like service for self. Fuck motherfuckers, fuck everybody else. Fuck
/EBT started claiming Taekwon World, and that was also around the time when the first body dropped from Taekwon World. Of course, I'm talking about the murder that got D. Rose life imprisonment, the killing of Big V from Taekwon World. This murder would change TB's life forever, because what not many know, TB was actually present when Big V got shot to death. Chicago police said that Wenzel Richardson, 14, also known as Big V, was walking with 3 to 5 other teens in the 6100 block of South Vernon Avenue about 8:20 p.m. February 12, 2014. A white van pulled up and a gunman inside opened fire. Richardson, who was walking home from a convenience store, was shot in the head and died on the scene. The people who was rumored to have been in the van was D. Rose, C-Day and Lil Boo from 600, and Lil Loss from Front Street. D. Rose and Lil Loss were allegedly the ones that let off the shots, and according to D. Money, 13 years old, who cooperated with the police, it was D. Rose who shot Big V from inside the van. He recognized D. Rose from social media and Chief Keef videos, he said. The friends Big V was walking with were TB, D. Money, Moog, C and White Mike from Taekwon World. Big V got shot in the head right in front of them. DB and the others luckily managed to dodge the bullets and the van drove off. I will go through this whole case in another video.
My clique is unique. We stay on the mic. We never go to sleep. Always on the grind. Never waste time. We avoid crime. Bad bustin' rhymes. My swag is too hustle. Not to cause trouble. Whatever you do, I can do double.
Nature, fuck this, that just the attitude is all they want. And once you conquer that and absorb him into you, then you become crafty just as him. That's why I say this is not Jesus with the sandals in these times. This is Jesus with the Tims, because you can't fight with sandals on. And these niggas ain't playing fair, so it ain't no getting out there talking to niggas. You might have to want to have a strap on you. So that's you absorbing Orion. That's you absorbing him. I'm still God body, but predominantly it's going to take a wolf to fight a wolf. You see what I'm saying? You're going to take a beast to beat a beast. Ain't no, too much of you just, everybody pray and be merry and shit, and then everything, going on around us.
And it just don't happen like that. So let me go back to the subject at hand. I'm sorry to take off to all other directions, but you got to imagine when I'm channeling, this is nigga channeling. This ain't the I am Ra files more so. This is Ra channeling through a nigga, so you get to hear it differently. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to the I am Ra, it sound a little computer because it's channeled through a computer. How we go. But I'm black, so I got melanin, so we gonna go all type of places. I can use all type of language. So just sit back and ride. Put your imagination cap on and just think of an entity called Orion, which is a negative being. And you see them all throughout the Bible, the snake in the garden, or the motherfuckers on the ground, or the lizards and shit like that. Or you got the light being, which is Ra, the sun god, the disc, Horus, Heru, Hebrew, all that shit.
Lost someone, even though his former teacher stated that he was never the same after one of his best friends, Wenzel, was murdered right in front of him. DB was close to several people from STL/EBT and Jaro who died in both 2011 and 2012. Many of them went to the same school together. He was close to people like Tutu, Lil B, Dale and Modell. Taekwon World had also lost a member a month before Wenzel was killed, Lil Mo. He was shot to death by Manny Fresh from STL/EBT. This after Lil Mo beat up his sister while they were dating. Manny Fresh, whose real name is Daryl Lee, got charged with the murder but eventually beat it in trial and got released in 2020. This was an individual internal event and it stayed there. Most took Manny Fresh's side because many thought he was doing the right thing. In addition, he is one of STL/EBT's originals. In addition, Taekwon World was still not in motion by that time. Understand
Saturn,
me right.
Moon,
There were many
Phantom,
who claimed
Matrix,
Taekwon World, but it was not its own set in the same way as it is today.
creation.
It was very mixed in the beginning, most claiming both Jaro and Taekwon World, or STL/EBT and Taekwon World. TW was not as strong and organized back then as it is now.
Like that. One is service to self, the other is service to others. Orion is service to self, meaning it is selfish. Me, my. The rap game. I fuck your wife, I take your bitch. That's service to self, that's Orion. The other one is like live, give. You know, that used to be part of the Wu-Tang Tupac when the rap was about we got to make it instead of me got to make it. You see what I'm saying? So Orion got Tupac out the way and fed Puppy Combs more energy. Give him more energy because he's close to the me.
Almost exactly 2 months after the murder of Wenzel, it was time for the next murder. The murder of the person who was actually closest to Taekwon, and who was against the whole idea of forming Taekwon World. I'm talking about the murder of K.I. as I have gone through both in the video about herself, and the video about King Von, because he was one of the killers. So there's no point in going deeper into that murder. It was really after this assassination it culminated, and Taekwon World really became its own group of members who only claimed Taekwon World. They were no further than the branch of Jaro City even though they were still close to them. DB, LC, Wahine, Bubba, D-Money, Mook and other shorties that K.I. once upon a time had brought up now started putting in work in Taekwon World's name and put themselves on the map. About 2 weeks after the murder of K.I., Taekwon World, with the help of STL/EBT, showed what they had learned from her. Lil Twan from Taekwon World and Can't Get Right from STL/EBT were on the hunt to get payback for K.I. They pretty much did not care who they got and killed a member called Lil Sam from a block. Taekwon World was now in full effect and the next year, 2015, DB would catch his first body, a childhood friend, as payback for his childhood friend.
Because once you get too much involved as a male into this me, you become slightly feminine. That's why you see what we see today. Okay, my bad. I had an interruption. It was a bird sliding on my windowsill that we know. You appreciate me putting the bird
now
food
we
in
have
the bird
come to
feed,
April
and somebody was sending a psyche
the
attack.
year month when TB allegedly caught his first body, the murder of Capo from Front Street. What makes this event and story so incredibly tragic and sad is that Capo and TB were childhood friends. They had been friends for over 10 years, played together as kids and ate from the same table. Even when they got older, even though they ended up on different sides, they still kept in touch and met. However, That would change, and it was all due to the murder of Big V, where Front Street was involved. A few months after the murder of Big V, Capo started mocking Big V, and that was when TB and Capo started fallout with each other. It all got even worse when Capo started mocking Lil Mo, who I talked about earlier, and Lil Mo was actually TB's cousin. The friendship was gone between the two. TB felt very offended by Capo, who could not even refrain from mocking his dead cousin. It was at this point that DB allegedly decided to hunt him down and kill him. It all went down on April 20th, 2015. This was an easy score for DB. He knew where and how Capo used to move on the street. Tyquin World was in traffic and drove around King Drive. They spotted Capo in the 6000 block of South King Drive. It is rumored that TB jumped out of the car and shot Capo 6 times in his back, and then hopped back in the car and sped off from the scene. Capo, 18, whose real name was Marshawn Fleming Jr., was taken to Strodger Hospital in critical condition and later pronounced dead. This was in
so I didn't know what I was talking about, but the blur blocked the interference because I feed their ass every day. So we went hunting. Oh, I am in tune. All right, so first, the making of a Dracon. And we got to remember, we're going to make a Dracon nigga. This is what this is going to be, a Dracon nigga turned rapper. This is what I'm going to construct and create to you according to the Orion mind. And the fact that I'm under the raw file, so I see and perceive the unseen and everything else. Not to brag, but it just what it be. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can too. It's just that you don't have no mirror, no reflection, you know, to let you know. You know, if you with somebody, they can't let you know, then you would never know. You know what I'm saying? You will have to get it through outside and other, you know, experiences. But it would be a beautiful thing just for your insignificant other to, you know, y'all can create that green ray energy, you know, bounce back and forth, instead of one always giving in knowledge and energy and love, and the other one always taking, it become a void. And on the other side of that taking is the snake in the garden or Orion sucking up all y'all etherical energy. You know what I'm saying? So if the woman or the man bounce back with the knowledge you be created, you close the cipher. It becomes a circle. It becomes a cipher. You close the gap. So when you got a closed gap, circuit flow. When you got an open gap, circuit, what it do? Car won't start. So when one of y'all when one of y'all feel like y'all giving more than the other, then that means one is taking. The one that is taking is under the Orion mentality. Not to say there is, but under the Orion mentality that me, I, all about me. And then the one that's giving is service to others. Always giving, but it's a problem within both. That's why you got to back the fuck up if you always giving it like, nah, do this what I'm giving, deserve what I'm giving. Baby, where's this energy going on the other side of this taking? Is it going to rock, God?
incredibly cold-blooded done by TB, allegedly killing his childhood friend. What makes it even more tragic, sad and disrespectful is that one day after the murder of Capo, TB uploaded a picture on Twitter together with Capo with the text, "Everybody knew that you were my brother," along with another picture from his other Twitter account with the text, "Show respect to my browski." I do not know what to call this type of behavior, if it's sociopathic or psychopathic, or just simply tragic. 2 days after the murder, a Tyquin World member also tweeted, "Biko in the cut like 2-2, better watch your back." As you all know, DB was also a rapper, and in the song Sacked Up, together with Poppy and Richie Jerk, DB refers to the murder of Capo with the line, "Caught his first body, threw up in a sink." DB also tweeted a day after the murder that it felt like he was going to throw up, and that his mind was broken. Now many are probably wondering how people really found out that it was DB who allegedly murdered him. Well, it was because DB used to DM a fan on Twitter about all his bodies, and there is still a screenshot left from that chat, where DB sent a screenshot of Capo's Instagram page. I do not know why DB did this, if it was because he wanted to brag about who he allegedly killed, or if he wanted the fan to put it out on YouTube to boost his reputation in the streets. Either way, this is the reason why the internet knows about this and all his other alleged bodies.
Like he wasn't already.
Samson gave in. That's the woman. We're gonna use the woman and the female. The female under the Orion file. She's taken, which represent her begging him, tell me your secret. Under the masculine file, he's giving. He's giving. You know, so he's strong. He's strength. He playing with. He don't tell her a secret. Once he tell her a secret, that means he gave in. He kept giving. Till where you become polarized in the giving, to where you don't know what to do no more but give. That's when the woman running the nigga. But in turn to her giving and study taking, she become insane and deranged, and she become her own downfall. So those are two things that's detrimental. And Orion set this up in the relationship pattern as you see today. Vice versa, you know what I'm saying? But try both giving and see how y'all can create that green ray energy of love. And look at her as a reflection of you and God, if you understand. And she look at you as the same. You see, you're just off the thought will create another energy. Under the green ray energy, once you create that, all forces can't come in. Negative vibrations can't vibrate on this level. So none of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why he always keep an animosity between man and woman in relationship and domestic, because he needs to keep that red, yellow, orange energy, which is a raw, you know, it's a certain way they feed. They need to keep that type of energy, that type of color. They need that anger. Whatever anger produced in their etherical body, they love it. You see what I'm saying? Y'all kissing and hugging, they gonna get little, you know. But like I said, let's start. We're gonna make a draconian nigga / rapper / construct / clone. And the first thing Orion do is the zodiac. So without any information, any knowledge of anything, any programming, when you come into this earth, the zodiac is your archetype. That's what you're gonna be under. That's gonna be your instinctual nature. That's gonna give you the raw who you are before you put the colors and shoes and clothes and stuff on it. You know what I'm saying? So he know that. So you come in, and they say you come in under the water tank, the water fowls. You're a Cancer. You're water sign. So he studies the nature. He said, okay, water signs in its lower nature may appear to be childish like in mind, clingy, emotional, and okay, I'm gonna use that. Okay, that's his raw nature. I already know he clingy, emotional. Sometimes a lot of them in the lower nature. Remember, there's a higher nature. We all the same. The lower nature. Orion likes the water lower nature because of the emotional aesthetic to it. You know, the emotionalness up to it. The more polarizing emotions, because the technology is based off controlling emotions. So a lot of times Orion is going to put a lot of water people in charge because they do carry that white supremacy, pinky ring, slavery. White people are queen, predominantly water sign nature or entity, because they got that under the lower self. Now I'm not saying higher self, we all the same. You know, other signs got their own negative thing, but we dealing with Orion and who they choose to mess with because certain circumstances.
After the murder of his childhood friend Capo, it was fairly quiet out on the street between Tyquin World and their rivals. However, both sides were still active and shot up each other's hoods back and forth. DB and Bubba were Tyquin World's most active members in 2015. At one point they shot up 600 at a block almost every week together. They were extremely close around this time. Although no bodies were dropped after Capo, Tyquin World managed to shoot several members from 600 a block in Front Street. In March 2015, Joey from a block was shot in the face by LC from Tyquin World. Fortunately, Joey survived the shot, but the bullet went through his right eye and tragically blinded him. Tyquin World gave LC the nickname LC Leave Them Blind after the incident. Towards the end of 2015, it started to get really hot between Tyquin World and 600. In September 2015, Tyquin World was close to equalizing the score with 600. It is rumored that Lil Bubba caught Bite Down from 600 on his bicycle on a street and shot him 2 or 3 times. Bite Down luckily survived the shooting, and later that year, Bite Down shot up a car filled with Tyquin World members. Later in December, Lil Twan shot both Michi and Quano from Front Street in a block. Both survived. However, the next year, 2016, would top 2015, because bodies started to drop. Tyquin World established itself further, and O Block actually began to see Tyquin World as a threat. However, they were still not that worried about them. The more experienced members who already had bodies under their belts like D-Roy, E-Dog, BJ, Duke, and Bleach still focused more on Jaro City and STL/EBD, while the younger members like DQ, Uwap, and Cheto had to take care of Tyquin World, but that would change after 2016.
Technology pertain to the emotion. And that's what they do. If it pertains to the rays, they use the bull, they use the earth. If it pertains to air, they use the communication. But predominantly for all of us too, is built in communication because this is Earth is a water planet. So we all got a percentage of water on us and they use this. So they use the Lord nature, meaning is a lot of water people, like if you're not woke, it's all about you. It's more like a narcissism thing going on. So when I can use that basic type, okay, I already know without programming this motherfucker how he gonna be. So now you got the program, the archetype. Now you got the Cancer. Now he's sitting there. Okay, now he become a child. He become older. We ain't gonna even go through it like that. We're gonna go through it like this. Now you got a Cancer male. So far, archetype male just got the Earth. Now, what I need to do is create a mind lock. Before I do anything else, we create a mind lock. Now they say, what's mind lock? Now I'm gonna read from the intergalactical files what's a mind lock, and then I'm gonna explain it to y'all in human and hood terms. You know what I'm saying? Because this is like spaced out shit right here. But mind lock. This corruption of the physical body is the stimulation to the corruption of the physical mind. The ego filters is a physical element constructed from the physical structures of the human flesh body. This filter located on the amygdala is called a reptilian tail. It is not organic to humanity. It is not organic to humanity, meaning it is not natural when you see them growing tails. It is designed to stop the spiritual body activation, feed energy reversals to mind lock the body and operate as a reptilian mind control projection. These structures allow human body to be controlled by the mind of which it follows, lead and directs as body and mind and the human soul. We're just gonna stop there. Now, they're talking about Orion. Orion is day. Now, what he just said is whoever controls the mind controls the body. Now, how can I have the mind and control the body of a nigga? Now, you got mind, body, and spirit. That's the three trinity. That when them blocking you want. But what Orion do is disconnect you from your spirit. Your spirit is that personality. Your spirit is no matter what innate who you is. Your spirit is that nigga that says bigger than money. That's the spirit. The spirit is wisdom, experiences, and thoughts from past lifetime, which give you a certain way you move no matter what a motherfucker say. They disconnect you from that. So now you got is a mind and a body. Now anything, it's like a dog. It's a construct now. You got a mind, which is a circuitry, a light. It's an energy source. And then you got a body. What makes it human is the spirit. You see what I'm saying? So when you take the spirit off, you cut y'all off from the spirit, now you got a mind and a body. And the way the mind and the body works is circulation. Etherical energy, ovulation, and circulation. Meaning is from the head down to the foot, from the head down to the foot. What am I describing? Just say one left side of your body, I got a circle going from the head out down to the foot. That means the mind control the body. This is the direction of the circle.
Year 2016. And you can actually describe that year with one sentence. Taekwon World, STL/EBT at Jaro City gave a block, Front Street and 600 Hell in 2016. They literally torched them, mostly for what they did while King Bun was out, dropping P5, Boss Trell, KI and Modell. The gang that probably went most crazy out of the three was Taekwon World, and not least DB, who became one of the most feared members from their side after allegedly catching 3 bodies in the same year. So much happened in 2016, and in order not to confuse anything, I will go through everything in chronological order. In June 2016, the 17th to be exact, it is rumored that DB caught his second body, this time on Nico Gang. It is rumored Nico Gang had been shooting at Taekwon World members earlier in 2016. And one of the shooters was apparently a member named
Saturn,
also known as Melvo. Taekwon World, who did not quite take Nico Gang that seriously since they mostly consisted of shorties, therefore decided to try to catch a member from Nico Gang. It is rumored that DB and Lil Daryl from Jaro City were the ones who took on the task of trying to kill a member of Nico Gang. On June 17, 2016, they succeeded. Melvo was sitting in a car together with his friend in an alley in the 6500 block of South Hamilton Avenue. DB and Lil Daryl allegedly walked up to the car and asked them where they were from. According to the friend in the car, Melvo replied, "I'm not about that." Then DB and Lil Daryl allegedly opened fire and shot Melvo in the head. His friend luckily managed to get out of the car and escape the situation without any harm. DB and Lil Daryl fled the scene and were never caught. Melvo, 16, whose real name was
caught, but I don't know who did it.
Lived in the 5700 block of South Calumet. was pronounced dead at the scene at 9:27 p.m.
DA.
Melvin's mother, Lakeisha, was totally broken after she found out about the shooting. She said, "I do not know what to do. I do not know how I'm going to bury him. I just bought a plane ticket to Mississippi, and now he's dead."
What they do is called reverse polarity. They reverse that polarity so the signature comes from the feet back down through the head from the feet, meaning is the body is controlling the mind. Now, once I got you in that circuitry, I put a mind lock on it. I keep it there. Now that I got the body controlling the mind, I can do anything under my technology to make you feel a certain way to go do a certain thing or any type. You see what I'm saying? That's when they say they can put you anywhere they want. You know what I'm saying? So now you got a situation where the body is controlling the mind. And what I mean by that is the way you feel based off the way you think. All of a sudden you feel a certain way based off, do you act on it or do you say, no, what is this feeling? When the mind control the body, the mind gonna tell the body what the hell is going on. I'm okay, but why do I feel sad? So the mind gonna figure it out. Let me look outside. They go to chemtrails. Okay, that's what that is. Now I understand every time they spray them chemtrails, I'm getting sad. It ain't me. Versus the body controlling the mind, I'm just sad. I'm just sad. I'm just fucked up. You see what I'm saying? So once they keep you in there, you in a reactive mode. Everybody knows who. Everybody know the nigga in the hood. Everybody look at the rap niggas rap out Tekashi 6ix9ine and Soulja, all this shit, this jail shit. What's his name? Lil Durk. Come on now. That's body controlling mind. You see what I'm saying? So no matter how much money you got, as long as I can keep the mind lock on you, and meaning is keeping your cipher, your etherical cipher, spinning the opposite direction of what it's supposed to spin, I got you right there. Everything else is just subtly, gonna come into play. Now, once I'm breezing through this, y'all, because this can go on forever. I'm breezing through this. So now we got a nigga that come in under the March or the July weather pattern, which is the way his blood pumped when he hit the earth. When he hit the earth, it was cancer. So whatever the lower trace of a cancer got, which could be the higher, but whatever the lower trace of cancer got, this is what he is, and then he's mind locked. So now I reverse engineered his etherical cipher. So now instead of a cancer coming in the earth, you know what I'm saying, mind over matter, meaning is he can control and discipline and still learn and be able to create who he want to be. It's all his emotions. First, then that. So now I done reversed it. So now the mind control the body, he can't. And plus, somebody being a water sign, he's very emotional. So he's more tapped into the emotions and the outer feeling. He's more in tune, or she's more in tune with the outer feelings and emotions of other people than the other zodiacs. So this is a perfect motherfucker for Orion to control. He already a Cancer. So just for the simple fact, I already got his circuitry flowing the other way, meaning the body controlling the mind. So now just those innate personalities, but not him being in the higher self, his lower self, Orion loving. You know what I'm saying? In the lower self trait of water people, we already know. The bottom line is about me, clingy, emotional, moody, stuff like that. So we already got that going. Now, he already know he going to make this man a rapper. So now the next step, hold on, give him a paper. The next step that we got, after we got the mind, the body controlling the mind, is the ego filters. Now, the ego filter is, in a nutshell, before I read it to you, is what you think.
According to rumors, yet again involved in murder that took place on July 17, 2016. This time, a body from a block was dropped. I'm talking about the murder of BJ's little brother, Cheno. However, there is a lot of controversy surrounding this murder, as members of a block believe that Taekwon World and STL/EBT had nothing to do with the murder of Cheno, which they also said about Big A, which turned out to be true. G.I. Joe and Can't Get Right had nothing to do with the murder of Big A, which Muwap pointed out in a discussion with Richie Jerk from Twitter in 2017. Just as I have mentioned in previous videos, take my videos with a grain of salt. Not everything is true.
Yes, it is, Saturn.
Rumors. However, I will still tell the theory that STL/EBT and Taekwon World were actually the ones who got Cheno, as well go through what argues that it was not them.
These are stories that aliens be telling to their other alienees.
Cheno was walking with his girlfriend in the 5,700
how our
block of South
looks,
Union Avenue, which is MOE No Love City territory, and actually the street where King Bon's sister Kayla grew up. A car pulled up, and according to Cheno's former teacher, who made a post about his death, they asked Cheno where he and his friend could get some weed. Cheno is said to have answered, "I have no idea." Then they exchanged some more words, and the one he was talking to pulled up a gun and shot him in the chest.
Just like that.
Cheno fell to the ground, and his girlfriend ran in panic from the scene. Moments later, the other man in the car took the gun and hopped out of the car and emptied the rest of the clip into Cheno's chest. Cheno was found lifeless at the scene and taken to St. Bernard Hospital, where he sadly was ultimately pronounced dead.
Is why you think you is. So now Orion finna put color on this nigga. Because now he's just a water entity or got a water archetype, and he's I got his polarity reversed, so that's body controlling the mind. So now what do I do with him? What color? When I say color, what music I'm gonna make him listen to? What clothes I'm gonna have him wear? How am I gonna cap or put something on his archetype? So let's start here. They call them. Let me see if I can find the reference first. Okay, ego filters. Yeah, ego filters. The ego filters is they finna filter through your etherical energy, your body images and holograms to filter out what you're gonna gravitate towards and what you ain't. Meaning is, I'm gonna only give you two things to say no and yes to. But hold on. I'm skipping ahead of myself. Okay, we're gonna start with ego filters, right? So now I'm coloring your mind. I'm giving you a person to be. I'm giving you the music you like, the food you like to eat. And ego filters are dead energy mind control structures. We have become accustomed to the ego identity as a supposedly normal part of the incarnated on three-dimensional on Earth. I showed that picture to you if you're looking at on my page. Three-dimensional Earth is, now you got first dimensional is Earth, second dimension is the animal, third dimension is the human awareness, and then fourth dimension is so on. But we on three-dimensional because this is the three-dimensional reality. So now, these mind control structures, also used in companion with alien mind control implants, were inserted into the physical element bodies of the human beings. This aggressively commenced as hibernation and complete planetary infiltration of the new negative alien agenda approximately 5,500 years ago in the Sumerian Egyptian invasions. So now what they're saying is here, the ego filters, okay, holograms, BET, W6, 105.3, all this shit you hear on the radio and TV, those are ego filters. Ego, everybody know who the ego is, who you think you are, not who you really are, because if you're connected to the soul, you everything and nothing at the same time, or the spirit. But if you're not connected to the spirit, then like I say, they got body, mind, and spirit. They cut you off from the spirit and they leave you at what I just told you, a construct that's got an archetype that came into this universe, and we reverse polarity, his etherical energy, meaning his body controlling the mind. Now I gotta give him a type of nigga to be. So when I put the ego filters on it,
the first theory and the theory that most people know about is that it was Taekwon World that killed Cheno. According to that theory, No Love City members spotted Cheno and gave Taekwon World the drop on him. Then Poppy, DB, and Can't Get Right got in traffic and spotted him. Poppy was allegedly the one that pulled out his gun and shot Cheno in the chest, and that DB was the one who jumped out of the vehicle and emptied the rest of the clip into Cheno's chest. It is rumored that he did that due to the fact that he had personal issues with Cheno, and had even mentioned him in several tweets 2 months before the murder. What suggests that this theory is true is that there is Facebook posts from a block members, friends and family that is mocking Poppy and saying RIP to Cheno the same day Poppy was killed, and the day after. It is very common for members to say RIP to friends when their killers die. It does not have to mean that it is actually the killer. It can also mean that they have taken revenge by killing one of their members. But just as we saw after the murder of King Von, where several members and families said RIP to Von's alleged victims, it usually means that their killer is dead. What contradicts this theory, however, is that Cheno would never have stood and talked that way with Poppy, DB, and Can't Get Right. He would have recognized them immediately and run away, because he knew who they were and what they looked like. However, this argument depends a lot on whether it is actually true what the teacher said about them exchanging words seconds before he was shot.
One of my already made creating entities do this, put on the skinny jeans and the designer clothes. And now all I'm doing is creating another archetype, because the last one you wore baggy jeans and big clothes. I won't mind new. I won't mind wearing something different. So now I'm an archetype filters, which you see these niggas wear every day, which you see these shoes they wear. Half this shit is ugly as fuck, but they showing you, if I can just keep gobbling your mind with it every day, before you know it, you didn't really like this the way this shit look. Now you like the way it look. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you're gonna accept it because now the body is controlling the mind anyway. It's reversed. So now I'm putting certain colors, certain days, certain emotional and aspects to it to fuck with your emotions. So it's sunny outside. You know what I'm saying? Puffy got the new liquor out, and you just seen the new commercial with the sun flying. All this is emotional manipulation. I'm feeling good, so all of a sudden I'm going to spend some money. All of a sudden I'm doing 100 miles an hour because I'm feeling good. Ain't got shit to do with the mind controlling the body. You see what I'm saying? So since I'm feeling good, next thing you know, he used another one of his holograms or his ego filters. You just roll past tops and bottoms. Dude got the new Puma suit on with the nice shoes. You finna spin over there and put that on. See what I'm saying? So now he's coloring you up. Now you got your clothes on. You're feeling good. You're going 100 miles an hour down the street. It's on and cracking all off of emotional based, situation because your mind locks or your body in the reverse polarity, meaning the body controlling the mind instead of the mind controlling the body. And then you're a water sign, so you're riding down the street hating like 50 Cent. That's a perfect construct. So if anybody want to know what I'm talking about, go to 50 Cent. That's what I mean. Now, when they motherfucker got money, in 50 Cent nature, he don't give a fuck about nobody around. He don't got no love for none of them niggas around him. And even though he got all the money, he still want to let you know he got all the money. And he been doing this shit for 10 years. You would think this shit get tired of him. He come under the big meech and shadow wealth. No, he under the motherfucker. Nah, he got to always be about me. And because of the childlike mentality of the water nature, plus he got money.
Just as I mentioned in the previous paragraph, is that it was No Love City who actually got Cheno. According to that theory, it was Juju and so from No Love City that killed Cheno in their own territory. What supports this theory is that Chino's ex-girlfriend, TK, openly wrote on Twitter that So killed Cheno. Days after the murder of Cheno, several tweets from both members from 600 and O Block indicated that it was NLC and So who were behind the murder. Just a day after the murder, Luwak tweeted, FMOE. However, a member from MOE responded to the tweet and said that MOE had nothing to do with it. Just days after the murder, Waldo from 600 and Man from a Block also started writing to Zoe from NLC on Twitter and wrote, "People will get up with you." However, there is quite a lot that speaks against this theory. The first thing that speaks against it is that O Block and NLC are hardly enemies. Both Cheno and his brother BJ are both originally from No Love City and have a lot of family there. Both Boss Top and Big also came from NLC. Both Boss Top and BJ still have contact with some people from NLC. Cheno was often out with friends in NLC's territory. He had several pictures from the street where he was killed. It does not make any sense to me why NLC would kill him. Like I said, they are barely enemies. They may not be cool with each other like that since Lamron and the Block are tight, but bodies have never been dropped between the two and no shots have been sent. What seems most likely to me is that Zoe, who was close to STL/EBT and Taekwon World, gave Cheno's location to Can't Get Right who got in traffic with DB and Poppy. Like I said before, DB had personal issues with Cheno since Cheno shot DB's cousin Young in the back. What is also strange is that after the murder of Cheno, Chino Gang on 57 and Low was formed, which was created by a group of GDs who is cool with O-Block. That may be the reason why King Von, in a live stream on Instagram, said that Low is cool.
Situation because he think the way he got there, his attitude got him there, so they got him there. And once they give you the privilege of being there with all that money, that mean they finna utilize your ass to the death. That mean, nigga, you a sacred agent. We paid you to be like this. We locked you in because we like the way your fucked up attitude is about, hey, give me my money. He coming at his buddy, Yayo, give me my money. Yayo like, nigga, we been buddies. What do you mean? I owe you for everything you did? Yeah, that's that shit. That's that shit. So anyway, if you want to know what I'm talking about, we're going to fast forward this. So I created 50 Cent in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? We can go a little bit deeper into, let me get one of my favorites to make sure I covered everything. Okay, we got ego filters, holographic inserts. Okay, we're going to start. I'm going to see if I can pull that up real quick so you guys will know what is holographic inserts. All right, and we're gonna read from there, and I'm gonna let a lot of this from here take over. Then I'm gonna explain what I'm saying. But a holographic insert is basically what you see off TV. Meaning you're a light being, your mind is made up of electricity and sparks. It's already light. So you got behind that TV is light bulbs and lights itself. So if that's a holograph, once it put that insert in your mind, that image, that vision, that's the insert. That's a holographic insert. Who you know, what you think you is. So a female might go to the store. Cardi B is her favorite rapper. That's a holographic insert. So she gonna tend to want to dress like Cardi B because you see what I'm saying? Like that already. I already explained holographic insert. But let's get on dead light. Dead light mental disease that accumulate from. We don't need to speak about that. We're gonna go back to where we was at. So we cover holographic inserts. All right. Let me see. Okay, AD value systems. Okay. That's something very interesting. I would call that the record labels. And for all this madness and bullshit that's out there and created, they still got to have a value system to their madness. So you got to have a 50 cent. What's his value system? What's his AD value system? Meaning is our deconic or deceptive value system. Meaning is Orion. Orion said we need these niggas to believe in God. We need these niggas to still feel like, there's a higher power, but we can't, but what would we give them? So what they'll do is 50 Cent say, man, nigga shot me. I had died and then the nigga ain't did nothing for me. So this is the reason I act like I act. That's an AD value system. He give value. He give his values. I got values. There's certain things I don't stand for. Certain shit I stand for. So it's just bullshit as a value system. I'm kind of getting lost in that because I gotta actually find that, and I'm kind of all over the place right now. But let's start with the spiritual warfare. I'm gonna share that with y'all before I close this up. So basically, that was it's a long process, but I'm just giving it to you in a nutshell. Then I'm gonna read spiritual warfare. So basically, you got the archetype. You know what I'm saying? The man that's coming into three-dimensional reality from an incarnation and for the light energies of wherever universe he was at or dimension. Now, the archetype meaning the day, the time, the weather he come in. Depending on the zodiac he come in, once he here, he just basically he don't know no personality. So what they do is after that they reverse the polarity of who we are and they cancel out the spirit. So you have mind, body, and spirit. They cancel out the spirit. They make that null. They never went nowhere. They just hold it to the side to disconnect you with chemicals, whatever chemicals we get into that later. Makes the chemtrails on Earth. So now once they connect you to the spirit, you just a body and a mind. And due to the body and the mind, the archetype I put in the body and mind, meaning the zodiac, that's gonna give it my innate nature. That's gonna give it what I like, what I don't like, regardless of what nobody tells me. Now, when I do that, I reverse the polarity of his thinking. I make the mind control the body instead of the body controlling the mind. And I'll infiltrate that emotional aspect of the body with my technology, modern technology. If I can push this button and make you feel this way, then you act that way. So once I do that, I lock the mind in the cipher. I lock it. Now it's spinning, the spirit can't get in because it's spinning so fast, so it's called mind lock. Once I find the mind lock, due to its innate nature of the zodiac, I give it the color. Meaning is what shoes to wear. Is it Balenciaga? Is it dimming? Is it ice water? Is it iceberg? Is it Nike? I'll give it the color. And due to the initial zodiac of the nature of that person, due to the color and geographical or wherever it's at, he's gonna color his ego with this person, who I call Lil Wayne. So let's go to spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare, for the reason there has been a recent phase of spiritual warfare commenced to regain territory and domination over the vast majority of the conscious levels, where souls and other power sources have been harnessed. Removing this dead energy, its alien influence and ego filters are part of a necessary, necessary reclaiming the body of Christos or the God body for the earth. Basically, when I say body of Christos is God body, this is how they describe it. Additionally, there has been a shattering and a decimation of collective.
And no Lord, dirty as hell, lame as hell.
Have been used as
GD ass hood. That shit lame as hell.
No love is lame.
Yeah.
No love.
Which part of no love you talking about? What street? Lame as fuck from King. I thought you was gonna say every. You should have said Lord every. What's some of it?
Hey Top, he trying to go on low.
Low cool. That's the only one.
Nigga, I'm from all icy.
DB was extremely active throughout 2016, probably the most active member from both Taekwon World and STL/EBT. 1 month after Cheno was killed, DB caught just below from 600. He shot at him and tried to chase him down. Luckily, without success. The next month, in September, DB was extremely close to catching his fourth body. It is rumored that DB caught Mano from Front Street and shot him in his face. Fortunately, Mano miraculously survived the shooting. Mano has today left the criminal life after his brother, Jamo from Mob, sadly got killed by Get Back Gang the following year, 2017. Another member from Taekwon World who was also close to catching a body that month was DB's close friend Poppy, who is rumored to have caught Jock from 800 off guard, shooting him in his chest. 800 is a set that basically has war with everybody. Jock was mocking Big V on Facebook, which led to the shooting. Jock luckily survived. 2 times from Taekwon World actually mentioned this incident in his Crazy Story remix in 2018. Later in November 2016, it is rumored that Duck shot D-Roy in the hand. Taekwon World, Jaro and STL/EBT really were going crazy. The month after D-Roy was shot in the hand, in December, DB would catch his fourth body, the third and final body of the year, and it was yet again a member affiliated with O-Block.
Humanity for a long time. These mind control structures qualify as dead energy spaces and are configurations which are used to filter soul energies through the harnessing of force entities. Now, what they're saying is through the harnessing of force entities is what I just described to you. That nigga, what I sitting there and what all that I just told you is a harness of a force entity, meaning is this entity ain't what it is force. I created it. I forced this shit on him. You see what I'm saying? Versus his natural self, when he connected to the spirit, he can be who he gonna be. No, this is a force entity. His ego, what is locked in. What was it? Okay, a force ego identity is a superimposed overlay that filters perception of an archetypal entity that is running an alien anti-human mind control program through the human body. Depending on the chakra energy that are attuned to this particular quality of energy spectrum and the DNA imprint they are looking to harvest means grab energy from, is the direction the controlling entity reinforces its archetypical ego to identify. Meaning is, I want you in the hood, nigga. Okay, well, then I'm going to make you a rapper, a dope man with a lot of money, and I need this hood energy because I like the light of that black energy. I love that. I love that when they're mad and killing it like that. So I'm going to create you and put you in front of a TV, even though you're in the suburbs. I'm going to always keep BET on you, even though all your people is white. So some damn reason I'm going to put you with a person who's going to keep you black. The seducer archetype and the victimizer, these are 2 types of programs. Victimizer is that Pope shit. Seducer archetype, that's all that shit, that R. Kelly shit, that's that shit. These are programs they run. Archetypes are the most effective at controlling a person through fear and to harvest life force energies. Fear give off life force energies, you know what I'm saying? Through the chakra system, they place archetypical mind filters that rejoin ego programs, in some cases implant false memories. Now, when you say false memories, you ever been with a motherfucker and all of a sudden he cool, and next you know this motherfucker pissed off? It was implanted already falsely that when he looked at you and y'all was in this particular area that this bullshit happened. But when you like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? They say, oh, nothing, shit. Then they say, I don't know what's wrong with me. That's that shit. So let's go. Let's keep going in a nutshell. Okay, hold on. Okay, we got false memories. Thought forms are holographic movies to manipulate beliefs and direct actions within the human. That's when I say color your mind. All of this is to gain access and control to the planet Earth, to the many levels of resources located here, control timelines, technology, perpetuated lines about the extraterrestrial involvement, and harness the use of collective quantum fields and the individual life force energy, which is collective quantum fields is what I call loot. It's the energy that you feel when you're in the hood. You ever been to the suburbs and it's colorful and it's green and people smiling, and then when you go to the hood, you can feel that energy. You can feel it as soon as you cross Madison over to out west. It get dark, it's gray, and it starts a certain energy. That's what that means. Okay, where I'm at. That's the collective quantic fields, and the individual life force or soul energy is. A lot of times I go out west, some of them females look like the life has been drained out their ass. Or they say, bitch, you need some water in your life. We call it that. These vital energies are comprised of multidimensional collective human soul matrix, of which so many have forgotten belongs to the access of belongs to the access of the human being directly. When one has control over the thoughts of one's minds, one has control over the directions and actions of the physical body. All of this is parts and reclaiming of the soul energy. Whoever controls the mind controls the soul. Almost a force ego. I'm gonna read it slowly. Almost all force ego identities are based in heavy second chakra, sacral chakra addictions programs. As these entities are clearly intertwined through addiction pathway, they are easily to energetically control and manipulate, aka crackheads. This your boy Pomatic. Like I say, we had a spiritual war now, and it's about aliens. It's the Grays, it's Orion. It's gonna keep you study, Google all that. You'll see everything that come up on it. It's Orion and it's Ra. It's the sun god, or black. Basically the sun god, and it's Orion, the opposite. And one is service to others, which is the sun god. Service to self is Orion. Half the people that you see, half this world, most of this world, all this world is based on service to self. They even got us in a society, we so far, Orion so far gone with the technology that we kicking service to self. We don't even know. When the
got the drop on this goofy nigga, 30 on the block, we let out shots. I'm up to this top, heard that was the job. That's what you doing right there, trying to stand on the beat like your ass wanna get popped. But I'm just saying, but I ain't trying to snitch on my man, the rest of King Papa Doc, and that's folks twin, so I'm...
Now we come to TV's last alleged body of the year. I'm talking about the murder of Lil Chris from MetLife, or Block. The reason I wrote both Block and MetLife is simply because Lil Chris pretty much claimed both. MetLife is considered by many a mix of members from a block, 600 in Front Street. I will make a video only about the history of MetLife in the future. Lil Chris lived in Parkway Gardens but was never an official member of a block. Chris mostly claimed the buildings, 6,217, which is MetLife. His father and cousin Guan also claimed MetLife and were also BDs. Chris also had a brother, Carlito, who is a member from a block, and his cousin D-Nice, who is Guan's brother, also claim a block. Chris was also the cousin of Shaq, blast his ass in Hodo from 600. Lil Chris was close with several people from a block like Hocho and BJ. This affiliation, and with him living in Parkway, was the main reason why he got killed. In late 2016, just 4 days before the new year began, Lil Chris was sadly shot to death inside Parkway Gardens. Chris, 23, whose real name was Christopher D. Brown, was walking in the 6,400 block of South King Drive just after 5 p.m. when two people approached and fired 2 shots, which of one striking him in the head. Chris was sadly pronounced dead on the scene. The 2 people who ran up on him are rumored to have been G.I. Joe and, yeah, I think you can guess, DB.
No, he bro, he a fucking white boy. Gang somebody shit, all that shit that like that. Hey, actually, let me hit that wood, bro. I said, get going. If we ever said it's up that bitch, I swear to God we mean it. We already in hell, bitch, since 12 we been demons. Ever since I signed the deal, all these bitches on my penis. Boy, you ain't gon' squeeze it, you around for no reason. Boy, what block you from? Let us know so we can spend it. Make Chicago legend shit. That was just about
Godspeed.
Said I wanna go this to that, and okay, I did it.
Saturn.
But nigga, fuck T-Roy and OD them.
Phantom. Matrix.
Niggas getting dead the same. Bitch, don't play with game. You don't want Lil Bro in your game way. I know you heard about Lil Bro, yeah. They let me shit out tight. Bullets was hitting him, he was singing like Mariah. Yeah, you heard about Shariah. I know that hurt the heart. He probably walking, listening to his iPod. Yeah, you heard about Lil Steve. Yeah, I heard about that too. But fuck him though, he a pack 2 bitch. If we ever said it's up that bitch, I swear to God we
mean. We already in hell, bitch, since 12 we been demons. Ever since I signed the deal, all these bitches on my penis. Boy, you ain't gon' squeeze it, you around for no reason. Boy, what block you from? Let us know so we can spin it. Made Chicago legend, shit, that was just about business. Said I wanna go this to dead, and okay, I did it. But nigga, fuck T-Roy and OD them dead bitches. Nah, for real, fuck them niggas. All my ops, bitch. Heard he mention brick name. No, he didn't. While bro selling rocks and blows, you was somewhere swimming. When Baldy got his ass killed, they ain't stepped no business. I go to deep thing, gravy take a piss on that shit. If Keita was alive, I make that dick suck my dick. If I gotta pull a mission, swear to God, I won't fail, but I can't let them see my face, cause they might tell. If we ever said it's up that bitch, I swear to God, we mean it. We already in hell, bitch, since 12 we been demons. Ever since I signed the deal, all these bitches on my penis. Boy, you ain't gon' squeeze it, you around for no reason. Boy, what block you from? Let us know so we can spin it. Made Chicago legend, shit, that was just about business. Said I wanna go this to dead, and okay, I did it. But nigga, fuck T-Roy and OD them dead bitches.
Drills. Shout out DG Powder, yeah. I'm sorry I ain't dropped in a minute, but I bet you forgive me for the song get finished. It's fucked that haze in the back, don't get your ass slapped, hope we all go missing. We ran folks deep in the scat, we ain't stopping at lights, when we all got heaters. I got y'all niggas confused, dead, I was winning up like I made y'all niggas. They don't take this rap shit serious. And Wack keep telling on tweet, I need to agree this rap shit for real. I'm used to post no drugs, so trap finessing and clapping the steel. We fucked Miami up for 3 days, they thought we signed a deal. Like, no, this came off a seal. They say Drill's been acting up, and he always had a nigga in rep for him. But I'm big dog in this shit, and why them no gon' always step for him. My niggas gon' ride for real. Tell the truth, you all down for real. There ain't nobody from your hood gon' do nothing. Little homie died in the field. As long as Fast Melly Market Bank, when they died with drill. And when y'all took some losses, y'all just sat around and cried and chill. That nigga gon' do nothing crazy. Tell you nigga come do something, baby. Cause you coming in late tonight, probably put you out of like 2 something, baby. I'm sorry, they always said I was heartless. Got a Glock 23 with a stick in that bitch, I'm good with it, hit some targets. We paint up pitch like artists. Let's see who make it the farthest. I know you listen to shit right now like drill is going retarded. I'm in the trap writing this right now, this bitch going retarded. Keep saying you're my favorite artist. I said, babe, we ain't getting no farther. I'm dropping a 6 and cracking the tray. Let's play y'all, making it harder. Everybody want a Glock with a switch to that switch, don't hit on your face on the article. You fuck, nigga. It's wick, bitch. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The moon. There have been many battles over the moon. There is a plan to gradually insert different programs of influence on Earth when the moon becomes occupied by forces that would assist in your growth rather than limit you. The moon's program have for eons been a great limitation toward human beings. The tales about the full moon, insanity, madness, heightened bleedings are all true. There are repetitive cycles that the moon creates to which you respond. It is in its extraterrestrial that really operate it all. Your technology through rapidly advancing cannot begin to compare with the biotechnology, including genetic engineering of a sentient space traveler. You are a newcomer to the game, and you missed the vital key for your senses. You only use the 5 senses, not the 6 senses, but they call it the Star David under the GD. This is the tail. That's what they talk about every day. And the essence of your physical world structure reality in a particular way. You constantly translate data like interpreting a dream, condense the experience into physical boundaries where you can explain less and less and less. This is Pomatic, and I'm out.